Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. Yesterday, I shared an hour-and-a-half long video for our Better Traders Club members talking about why we are still in a bull rally and why I think we are still going higher. There are literally so many data points in this video to show why I think we are actually going higher. It's had a really amazing response so far. I'm super excited for everyone else to catch up and watch it. As far as Bitcoin's price action goes, things are boring right now. And you know what's funny? This is actually the best scenario. Listen to me. Whenever Bitcoin has a bullish impulse, like right over here, market's chopping, and all of a sudden, boom, Bitcoin only moved up, really, 10, 11%. Long gone to the days of like 30, 40% impulses, but a 10% move, meaning that the price action is bullish, it went up, and we can see that there's still bullish strength according to the TBO indicator. All four of these moving averages are pointing up, but most importantly, the slow line is moving up. Whenever this happens, a big bullish impulse and the price stays kind of trapped, this is a wonderful recipe for alts to pump absolutely higher, which is exactly what we've been seeing. Now, as far as this chart goes, things still look good. Yesterday's volume exceeded the moving average here on Binance. It looks incredible. On balance volume is moving up higher. Yes, relative strength index is losing strength. No kidding, because it's just Chop City. It's not trending right now, at least to the upside. But as long as the price is above this cloud right here, this tells me that this is still a strong bullish chart. I know it doesn't feel strong bullish because Bitcoin, if you bought right here at $119,000, you're down 2% or so. While everything else is pumping, we're going to look at those everything else conditions in a minute. Just listen to me. This is the recipe for a massive alt season. When Bitcoin pumps and then pauses, that's when alts go, he stopped, let's go. And they all just go absolutely insane. We're literally seeing signs of this happening everywhere. Case in point, good grief, Ethereum yesterday had a really weak close, but I mean, look at the difference in price action. Bitcoin made its move, topped out here on the 14th of July. On the 14th of July, look what happened after it stalled. This is literally what I just said. Ethereum since then has moved up 25%. It's almost like that children's rhyme, like when the cat's away, the mice will play, something like that. Perfect example. Ethereum continues to show literally incredible strength. Yesterday's volume exceeding the average by 2. RSI is still massively overbought. Yesterday had a record high of 96.18. That is a disgustingly high and super overbought level. Now, the question is, are we going to see a pullback soon? That is a wonderful question. And you know what? When we see charts that are this bullish and this overextended from the fast line right here, I also can't help but shake the feeling that, man, oh man, we have to have a pullback sometime soon. The charts are just too bullish. We need to have some sort of a correction. But you know what's true as well? Back over here yesterday, same thing. The day before, same thing. The day before, same thing, same thing, same thing. It's been overbought and overextended for a long time. Now, yes, we could use RSI as a gauge. Yes, we know RSI has been overbought now for 13 days, which is insanity. But this isn't to say that, okay, well, now we've hit this magic number. Now Ethereum has to dump. Not always the case. That's not always the case. But understand that we are seeing some signs that Bitcoin could have a little bit of a pullback. And that's going to be here on the hourly time frame. So this is our TBT stop loss hunting alert. It actually had a recent update, which I'm really excited about. We have these two new colors, which is really pretty. We have a coil right now, which lets us know when price action gets really, really, really tight, basically pre-squeeze, which is exactly what happened right here. This coil let us know that Bitcoin is probably going to have some sort of explosive, weird price action. So we only get a move to the bottom, to the top, about 1%. But for leverage traders using super high leverage, that's a lot. And also the stop loss hunting alert, that's the same. This thing continues to ring-a-ding-ding, as Frank Sinatra loved to say. We are still in our stop loss hunting alert mode. But honestly, I don't know. I don't really care about a pullback at this moment just because things are so bullish. So do you remember the concept that I shared with you last week about a possible pullback? And one of the reasons for that pullback is this thing called a liquidity gap. I have to zoom in a lot so we can actually see everything. So a liquidity gap is basically, it's actually admittedly something I've learned recently from my live streams on the Coin Bureau Trading channel, which you guys should definitely subscribe to. They're so close to reaching 100,000 subs. That's so awesome. And help me get to 100,000 subs too. So subscribe to both places. The liquidity gap is basically when we have a massive move too high, too fast, and there's basically just a gap here that really wants to get filled. I don't want to see Bitcoin fall 5% down to $111,000. But here's the truth. If we see the price of BTC drop below this low here on the 15th of July, then we're probably going to see it quickly drop down here to the previous low at 115. We'll also see it take out this CME gap that's at 114. And by the time that happens, it's going to smack dab hit the TBO fast line, which is actually going to give us a bullish bounce. This is actually our TBO springboard bounce. This is an amazing entry, especially on bullish charts. I've been sharing these all over with so many charts before things actually pumped. One of the best examples I can share with you is SAY. Right here, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Let me hide all the other stuff to show you what I'm talking about. So we see a big fat move and eventually the price drags back down, hits the TBO fast line, this green line right here, and then bounces off of this and keeps going up higher. So that's essentially what a TBO springboard bounce is. And that's kind of what I would expect to have happen for BTC. So again, it's not terrible. No other glaring signs. Honestly, everything is still looking really bullish. But of course, anytime price action just kind of stays in a tight range, you'd think it's bullish, but most of the time it's bearish. So just keep an eye out for that. Now, Ethereum still looks strong, not really worried about it whatsoever. FBTC, though, this is something that we can be using to figure out, okay, is Ethereum super overbought? Yes, of course it is. But look, 1, 2, 3, see those white dots? Those are TBO breakouts. These are my favorite breakout indicators right here. My favorite reversal indicator is way back over here, which is this orange diamond, the TBO Close short. Yes, it printed after a 14% move, but was this an amazing entry? Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Fantastic entry. Now, look at this. FBTC is closing in on the 382 Fibonacci level. The last time FBTC made a move up to a Fibonacci level, and these levels are insane. Now, let me zoom out just so you can understand the scope of these guys. Let me remove everything so you can understand. These are epic. We're going from our top in 2021 December to our drop down here in April 2025. This Fibonacci retracement has been in place for 4 years, which is massive. This is significant. So with that in mind, I expect FBTC to probably tag this or tap it just like it did on the 236 and fall back a little bit. Because let's be real. I mean, if it actually pushes up higher, I will be happy for everyone that's holding ETH because I am too. But it's also like, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at history, and I know it's so strange to look at a chart like this to go, wait, this is really going to determine the price of Ethereum? Yes, because FBTC is a very popular trading pair. Many crypto traders use the FBTC trading pair to gauge the strength of the altcoin market. Now, here's the truth. Even if we have a pullback, the reality is that the damage has already been done, in that the damage towards the bears has already been done. We had a really bearish TBO slow line. It's flattened out, and now it's curling up. Even if FBTC has a mild pullback, we'll say, we already have our TBO breakout cluster here on the daily. The chart is massively bullish, so we can't get too freaked out. Everything is still looking super strong. It's just massively overbought. So will a pullback happen? It should happen. Pullbacks are healthy, they're good, but I'm not going to panic or freak out at the first pullback. That will be an opportunity to buy the dip. And if you guys have been watching my videos and listening to what I've been saying about taking out partial profits, taking out just even a little bit on any big move, then a dip will be great because it'll give you another opportunity to buy in at a lower price, averaging yourself down and allowing you to make more on the retrace, on the bounce back up. Let's keep going. Stablecoin dominance has not fallen, which is making me go, It really should, because these yellow TBO breakdowns, which is the inverse of the breakouts, when we get a lot of these together, this is letting us know that we should see explosive downward price action. We haven't seen that happen yet. The last time we saw this happen, it was pretty much immediate. Boom. And then the last one, the third one, is really detached. If we go back to find the other one, let me just zoom out a little bit. It's back over here. We can see 1, 2, 3, boom, and it just drops. Right over here, we can see 1, 1, 2, 3, and it kind of chops actually for a while, and then boom, it really drops. So we are still waiting on a significant drop for stablecoin dominance. The one thing that could ruin it, that could ruin this potential drop, is RSI. Now, the thing you have to understand about daily RSI, for one, I use RSI with a length of 7, and I get this asked a lot. Why? Well, because the standard length of 14 is just too, it's not wild enough, it's not crazy enough. I really want it to be a faster, more responsive RSI reading. See the dramatic difference here? For crypto, RSI 7 works so much better because it's a 24/7 market that's highly volatile and highly emotional. I want RSI to be very sensitive. So with that said, we have a low here at 12.46 last Thursday. The thing that I will be watching for next is, will RSI start making higher lows? If we start to see it making higher lows, by this time it'll be too late. But I'm watching this higher low from yesterday, from Monday, going, well, we'll see. It's too early to call it. But look, back over here in May 10th, we had a low at 1310, moved up, and we had a higher low, higher low. That was it right there, the 22nd of May. Another thing I'm going to be watching out for are early bullish reversal signals. And unfortunately, we are seeing those. And that's not a good thing here, because early bullish reversal signals mean that we are starting to get to the point where we're statistically more likely to see an increase in stablecoin dominance, which means an increase in fear, or rather an increase of pivoting to stables. So basically, we're seeing the heightened chances of a possible pullback again. Now, we've already seen charts pump a lot. A pullback would be a good thing. It does not mean that this alt rally is over by any means. I don't believe that for a minute. Now, we can see other times, and I want to show you this to be honest, we've seen other times where we get a cluster of these and it drops lower. A cluster of these right here, and it takes a couple of days, 14 days for it to actually move up. So the one thing that's different now is that we have one of these guys, which is a TBT Bullish Divergence cluster. This is a pro tier indicator that's available in the Better Traders Club. The cluster gap right here just turns one of these green triangles into a green tab. This is done intentionally to draw our attention to this, because when there's a lot of these happening in a very short amount of time, within 6 candles essentially, that's to help us go, ooh, something big is probably going to happen. Let me zoom out to identify other times where we've seen clusters, and it's been a while. We can see a cluster gap over here. Dang it. Whoa, actually, this is good. Check it out. This is actually pretty good, because this is when we had our other drop in November 2024. We had a cluster gap right there. Sorry, cluster gap. At a TBT Bullish Divergence cluster. And yes, we did see a sharp increase. I think that's a glitch. But anyway, the price actually fell lower. So I want to share this because I think that, yes, we should be paying attention to moves like this. And there is a possibility that we could see a pullback on BTC. But we need to keep in mind, what's the direction of the slow line here? This is why I use both of these indicators together. And if the slow line, which is the slowest moving average, is pointing down, then this means that we should expect maybe a short little correction, but the macro trend is down. The macro trend is bearish. On the daily time frame, we're seeing the same thing. The slow line is doing what I've been waiting for months, curling downward, letting us know that the macro trend is turning bearish. This is all super good stuff. So is a pullback in the works? A minor one could be, based off of what I'm seeing with BTC, but you know what? Even if it does happen, it will be short-lived, because the momentum has shifted from bearish to bullish. I know a lot of you aren't going to agree with me on that, and that's okay. This is what makes it for really interesting observations. Now, we need to talk about Bitcoin dominance next. Sunday, the drop was 1.26%, which is huge for stablecoin dominance. Yesterday, not so much, so it's slowing down just a little bit. Now, we know that daily RSI actually put in a new low yesterday at 2.5. This is literally ridiculous, because the last time we saw levels like this, I kid you not, The last time we saw RSI this low, we have to go back like all the way to what, 2017, I believe? Yeah, March 2017. And if we think back to March 2017, Bitcoin was just at the start of a massive rally. During that massive rally, actually, this will be really, really helpful. And I can't use this chart. I have to use this index, okay? I want to show you this to help you out. So remember that date, March 2017. Let's get rid of all of the indicators. And I want to go all the way back for this chart, okay? And by the way, just so you know, I was able to go back to the very beginning of the chart by pressing Shift, Alt, and left, or right will bring you to the very most recent candle. So I still have to scroll and stuff, unfortunately. And you can actually use your Shift key on your keyboard and your scrolling wheel to go to the right. It's a little bit weird though, because it's inverted because you're scrolling up and down. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this right here. March. Okay, perfect. Look at what happened over here in March. So yes, we saw that RSI for Bitcoin dominance was massively low, historically low, like 1.5. Look at all of the volatility that happened over here in March. Now we know that there were some crazy moves. And again, this is when Bitcoin was what? $1,200. When assets are newer and younger, they will be so much more volatile. But as time goes on and they prove their worth and their value, they end up having these huge market caps and the moves will not be as big anymore. Look at gold. Gold doesn't have these massive, massive moves. A massive move on gold in a day is like 1%, and people are screaming and freaking out, which to us in crypto is laughable because we're used to charts dropping 50% in a day. It's just a different market cap size, different maturity level of the asset, okay? So when Bitcoin was still immature, we would see it drop 24, 25, 30%. And this was not a short little achoo move. Like this happened over a month. But we also know that from this point in March, Bitcoin had an insane rally, not just up here to June. We also saw it rally so much higher, inevitably topping out at the end of the year in December, another 20x. So am I saying that Bitcoin's going to pull a 20x from here? Absolutely not. But what I'm showing you is that Bitcoin dominance, we are basically right here in terms of Bitcoin dominance, okay? We will see Bitcoin grow in price, but right now we're seeing a huge shift away from Bitcoin dominance, not necessarily towards stablecoins, but really it's going to others. Now, if we look at the others total market cap right now, this is super exciting, okay? We have 3 TBO breakouts right here. This alone is enough to get super duper pumped about. 3 of these in a row is massive. Now, the others chart is good because this is the total market cap excluding the top 10 coins. So excluding stable coins, excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Solana, maybe Tron is up there too, maybe DOGE. It might have changed since I've last looked at it too. But this is huge. This is what we've been waiting for months. I honestly, I'm trying not to swear, but that is been in a long, grueling process. Look at what happened the last time we got one of these. We saw the others market cap grow by 50% over a couple of weeks. I think it's going to be bigger this time around. Total E50 agrees with us as well. Total E50 is an even better metric because this is the total crypto market cap excluding the top 50. So automatically taking out all stable coins, all those big caps. So these are all of your your high risk degen coins. Again, TBO breakout cluster. I expect things to go so much higher. And I'm seeing signs of that all over the place. Knowing that if we are patient with our trades, if it takes 171 days, so be it. But we will eventually see our take profit targets hit, whether it's 171 days, whether it's 34 days, like this position for ton that still has to move up another, this one, 109 days, it still has to move up another 11%. It's going to happen. Over here for a link, this position that has been open for 1 day. Look at this move right here for a link. So this is awesome. I love this. But the reality is that when we are patient and we stick to our trading strategy, we will do so much better in crypto, because the reality is that crypto is a very volatile place, like I said before. And if you don't know how to trade in this market, it is completely unique and different to every single market that exists. It's a much smaller market cap, way more potential, way more volatility, but that means that you need to know how to operate and function and thrive in this market. And that's exactly what we do here at the Better Traders. Go to the website, it's linked down below. Check out our course, 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. This is an awesome course that comes with one-on-one coaching. It teaches you how to leverage automated trading tools from AllTrading, which is my favorite third-party trading platform. That's exactly what I'm showing you right here is actually AllTrading, and these are bot trading positions. Every single one of those red arrows up there, these are all cells. They're all automated, which means I don't have to do anything. So I'm just sitting back, making videos for all of you. And while I'm doing all this, the bots are running and they're generating profits for me. Plus, there's trend trading strategies using A/B trading, which I made a video about a couple weeks ago, and also the TBO, which I've been sharing with you. So there's a lot, and I've just realized the time. This is insane because you've watched up to this point and you haven't hit the like button. And if you have, you're awesome. You're fantastic. You're my favorite. But if you haven't, there's still time for you to be my favorite. So go ahead and hit the like button. I would love to get to 100,000 subscribers this year, and that only happens by you subscribing and sharing. If you share my videos on your socials, share it with friends and family that are interested in crypto. Yes, sometimes I go a little bit too deep down the rabbit hole, but my goal is to help everyone take advantage of what we're seeing right now, which is an explosive period of growth for crypto, okay? So share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let's get into today's picks. I'm going to try to do this in a super short amount of time so this video is not massively long. Solana has a confirmed TBO breakout yesterday after an 8% move. Remember this? I was showing you TBO resistance right here. And the TBO, by the way, stands for the trending breakout indicator. We've talked a lot about the trend, the strength of the trend, and the breakout part are these white dots. These are my favorite symbols because this lets us know that there should be huge explosive upside continuation. Now, because Solana pumped above our local high, check, check, check. The next target for Solana that really hasn't moved yet. If you think about all of the top 10 tokens right now, they have all pretty much had massive moves except for Solana. That means Solana is next in line. You can take this and adopt this same mentality towards other charts that you're waiting on as well. It's just a rotation. So the real next target that I'm watching for Solana is up here at about $250. I know it seems crazy and unlikely, but this is how it works. So this is the next target is right up here about 255. DOGE had another TBO breakout. Even though it's on a red candle, it doesn't matter to me. Now, if we get 3 in a row, that is going to be extremely bullish. Litecoin printed a third TBO breakout in a row. Yes, I know that it's red. No, I don't care. Yes, I'm expecting Litecoin to go higher. How high? Well, for now, for starters, it should pop up here to at least $137. But the target to beat, the price to beat right now, at least here on Bitfinex, is going to be, oh, I didn't get that. Here we go. It's going to be 147 big buckaroos. So once that happens, it'll be a similar move as Solana. It's just going to rip higher and higher up to higher resistance. But that's what I'm expecting and waiting on next for Litecoin. Arbitrum, this is a layer 2 coin that operates on Ethereum. Because Ethereum is doing really well, other layer 2 tokens should follow. Injection, I believe, or it's Injective, I can't remember. They all start to like blend together. But this had its first TBO breakout yesterday, and the price is approaching TBO resistance. Now, it did put in, I believe, a higher local high, which is a great sign. Now, the candle is super weak, but looking here at volume and on-bounce volume, it's looking really good. This hasn't moved yet. Be patient. Patience pays. Sushi swap. Well, it's not a perfect 3 in a row TBO breakout. It did have its third. Volume is falling down. I wouldn't really worry about that. Again, this is kind of in the Ethereum realm as well, so that's why it's going to be doing well. GNO, which I believe is Gnosis, has its second TBO breakout, and Move does not have a TBO breakout here on the daily, but on the 4-hour, it has a really nice TBO breakout. Now, it is making a lot of really similar price action and moves like it did back over here after it hit resistance and it dropped back down. Yes, we're looking at a TBT Bearish Divergence in progress, but it also has a TBO Open Long in progress, which is really exciting. ACT had a really good move yesterday. Again, I'm not that big of a YouTuber. I don't believe that I'm having this much of an impact on the market. I really think that this is just normal rotation. And we're seeing, because we have this, let me back it up, because we have this orange diamond, which is my favorite bullish reversal signal, the TBO Close short, this lets us know that we should be switching from being strong bearish below the cloud to bullish consolidation. And consolidation is a fancy word for sideways chop, but our sideways chop is going higher and higher. The first challenge ACT has to do is to pump above overhead resistance. And then it's going to be heading up to this highlighted area here, which is about 14 cents. This is a moonshot, and it's super extremely oversold meme coin. So be extremely cautious and careful with it. SmartX, this is one of my gem holds, I guess you could say. This is one of my low cap holds that I would love to see rip higher. It has its first TBO Close short printed yesterday since, I have to back up a lot, since back over here in November. Well, that's weird because our market conditions right now are just like what we saw in November. Now, I'm not expecting SmartX to pump up 200%. Would I love that to happen? Are you kidding me? Of course I would. But this is one that I am watching and waiting and just holding. SPX 6900. This one is probably trying a lot of you and your patience. Yesterday's high at 203, 2034. It seems like it's being suppressed. Yeah, there's a lot of profit taking right now, but because the slow line continues to point up, again, same story. There is bullish momentum growing. Now, is there a lot of profit taking happening? Yes. Is there still a lot of volume? Yeah. Is it still strong bullish? Oh, yes. This chart is still bullish in my book. We're just waiting on it. Cookie is a chart a lot of you have been asking for recently. It has a confirmed open long here on Sunday, which is a great sign. It's above the cloud. It has short-term overhead resistance at about 28 cents. If I zoom out, this is a relatively new-ish coin, at least here on Binance. I don't know if this is the oldest historical chart, but this is a nice sign. I mean, the fact that it's putting in a much higher low means that we should see a higher high somewhere up there. If I do a top to a drop fib drawing, or Fibonacci retracement. Oh yeah, this is going to be pretty valid resistance because it's right below the 618. Now, if things get really frothy, yeah, it can go up here to the 786. That'd probably be a really good top target before it puts in a higher low and then maybe a higher high again. We'll see. MASA, this is one I've been running a bot on for the longest time. It's insane. And it's actually doing really, really well because it's made a local high. Let me share this with you over here on Alt Trading. Just give me a second. Really, really excited, really quote unquote pumped about this because it's just cranking out profits over and over and over and over. And I love this bot because it's accumulating MASA right here. So all these positions right here are closing in the green. Yes, it's only $1, but it's like $1, $2, $5, $1, $1, $1, and it just adds up over and over. And I'm basically just accumulating MASA. Why? Well, the reason why is because I really want to cash out MASA at like 10x, 8x, something like that. That would be amazing. Or higher. Now, do I have any guarantee of that happening? No, but I love the fact that we're seeing all the bullish reversal signals. 2 TBO close shorts here on the daily. We are now looking at a TBO open long in progress. The price is closed above the daily cloud and it made a higher local high. This is the first time this has happened, that it's been above the cloud since January. So I love that this is happening right now. I'm super excited for this. Now, we don't have a confirmed open long yet, but it's showing one right now, which is very exciting. This is one, again, that we've been waiting on for quite a while. There's still significant resistance here at 40 cents and here at 43 cents. If things get frothy, this thing should at least pump up here to TBO resistance at about 61 cents. Pi, remember this one? I was talking about it for a while. I was saying, gosh, we're nearing that part of the season where it's like things are just going to be pumping that were massively oversold. So we already had a TBT Bullish Divergence right over here a couple weeks ago, 12 days ago. And we have another one in progress today. On the 4-hour time frame, we have a lot of these TBO Close shorts, which is also a really good sign. Trump, remember how I said, I just have a weird feeling that Trump's going to pump from here? Because we had TBT Bullish Divergence, and we had 2 TBO Close shorts. Now we're looking at an open long in progress. This is awesome. There's short-term TBO resistance here, just below 15 bucks. Now some charts to watch. Pengu had a great move. Now, the difference between Pengu and no price action and Bitcoin is huge because Pengu's market cap is way smaller. It's a meme coin, and it's also hit the 786 level. It literally closed right below it, and it's on top of it. Now, because Meme coins are still really frothy right now. I expect it to go higher. And I know it's crazy, but we also have our TBO breakouts. We should be seeing it go crazy. Farcoin, really excited about this one because it had a really good close yesterday. Now, the high yesterday did not exceed the high over here, but I believe, let me just do this instead, actually. We're going to do that and this. So our high over here, the level to beat is 165. So far today, we are at 164.69. So close. But a big fat move of 12% in a day is not abnormal for Farcoin. I actually think that Farcoin will continue to move up to its previous all-time high, but it's going to find resistance here first at 245. But this chart's going to take off again because it's in the meme coin realm. Jasmine, a lot of you are asking for this chart. Not really sure why. I mean, yeah, it's above the cloud. It's nearing overhead resistance on the weekly. Let me turn on some of these guys too to see. I don't really see anything really amazing about the chart other than the fact here that on balance volume is above its weekly moving average, which is a good sign. Okay. This is good. Seeing volume grow this much and no price action, really? This isn't really a lot of price action. It's only up 37%. That's a good sign. Now, it really needs to break out above local resistance here. Then it can really take off. We're not seeing breakouts yet. Yeah, okay. Dog whiff hat. This one is approaching overhead resistance at 139. When it breaks above this, it should send. Toshi, a lot of you asking for this one. It's had a pretty nice move up higher. It needs to close above TBO resistance. Noticing a pattern here. This one had a really weird pump on Sunday, up 52%. Look at the volume. That's just a liquidation event for a lot of shorts, in my opinion. But similar thoughts here on ACT. I think that we're going to see something similar happen with ACT, where we're just going to see a big pump out of nowhere. Just be careful when those happen. Now, this is a very risky chart to share because it's super duper low volume. The 30-day moving average is 45K on Bybit. Why am I sharing it? Well, zooming out here on the weekly, it's basically at support. I don't know anything about the project. I don't know anything about why it dumped, but the fact that it's at support, I mean, this is really, really, really similar to how HNT looked for quite some time. It was at support and then it just popped, right? So low cap charts like this are extremely risky. This could also dump, but there's a chance that it could also make a nice move to the top side. But we'll see. Last but not least is Tau. On the weekly time frame, it has an open long in progress, which is awesome. On the daily time frame, a really nice close yesterday of 8%. Similar story, it needs to break above local TBO resistance. Now, guys, there's so much more that I'm going to be sharing today in the Better Traders Club over here. So the link for this is in the description. The video is massively long. Smash the like button and stay tuned for tomorrow's update. And until then, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.